Okay, remember, 10 and a half, everybody. Okay? You'll be amazed.
What we're doing is we're shrinking it, so we need to know where we started from.
We want to shrink it about 14 to 15%. So,
I'll know when it feels good.
so what we're doing here is we're going to walk this freshly woven piece of cloth, right? And the idea behind that is that we shrink it and we get it felt up a little bit so that it's windproof, waterproof, and able to withstand the winds and gales and the howling hurricanes of the Hebrides. That was the idea in the beginning. And so we do that by banging it against the table, and there's a rhythm that we establish, and there's a way of doing it so that we all work together. And we pass it around so that every piece of the cloth gets worked. And what else? Oh yes, this is the original put the wool in the dryer thing and see what happens, you know, because by the time this is dry, it has had the same effect. And that's the whole idea behind it. And when I first met Mary, and she said, I really want to do this properly, not just the demo, but oh my God, we'll be here till midnight. In actual fact, it really happens quite quickly. It's really amazing, you know. So we sing what we call walking songs, or in Gaelic they're called woolen, which of course you all understand, right? And they're sung in Gaelic, in Scottish Gaelic, and you're all wondering, well, why am I here? Well, they did create songs that had what we call vocables, and vocables are the equivalent of tra-la-la-la in English. And the vocables make them very accessible to everybody who is singing. And so it's like a call and response type song. And so a lot of the vocables are like, well, holy Lord, and that kind of thing. So the people who have done it before have practiced, so they know what they're doing. And you do remember from last year, right?
No doubt.
And generally speaking, when we start off, the cloth is quite heavy and wet, and it's kind of hard to move, and so it's kind of a slow process. So we start off with fairly slow songs, and they're very rhythmic. But as the cloth gets drier and lighter, and we get tireder, the songs speed up and become a little more light-hearted in nature to keep us going. Okay, we stitch the cloth up so that it's in a circle. It's just easier, and we pass it from right to left, and it's bad luck to go the other way. And it's really, really good if everybody does the same rhythm. So the movement is, it's a way and back and pass it along. You have to let go of the cloth to pass it. Passing it this way. Okay? From right to left. That way. This way.
Shall we go very, very slowly?
So away and back and pass it along. Away and back and pass it along. Away and back. Okay. And you want to try and keep it distributed evenly around the table, otherwise I'm pulling, you know. And there's always someone hugs the blanket at the end of the table. Which end? Never. So we get the rhythm going, and don't get carried away because you'll hurt your hands. If you really bang against the table, it'll hurt. Okay? Alrighty, so we can stop that now. We've got the idea. Now we're going to sing our first song, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. These songs all have a sort of general pattern to them. They usually start off sort of extolling the virtues of the countryside around and how beautiful it all is. They always end up extolling the virtues of the wonderful man that they're in love with. And this man is most handsome and skilled in everything, and he can do everything, and then turns out. So the songs can actually get quite giddy in nature sometimes, and they sort of tell little secrets, but that's towards the end of the whole process, and they can get quite silly. And as I say, it's not lyric poetry. And I think the call and response thing originally was to give the woman time to make up the verse as she went along. You know, that happened. But these are all very, very old songs. Some of them are about 900 years. So So we're going to start off with then a thall, and let me just sing the first one and some of the chorus for you so that you remember. So then a thall the che more a bronc and kyo and then it goes on from there. So for those who can see this thing, it's the stuff in green if you can see that. So everybody. And then the next part says this is one of the most difficult ones actually that we're starting with. So I think we'll just get going, and normally by about the 20th verse you've got it all, right? Yeah. That's it. So it usually ends with a repeat of the last chorus line. And this is what we call a woven song. In other words, the last line of the first verse becomes the first line of the next verse. And so although it doesn't look like anything there, it's a lot longer than you think it's going to be. Okay? So that's that one. And we need, and so this one is written by a lady who is sort of regretting the fact that she's on her own. And then she starts to praise this absolutely wonderful person that she's in love with. Talking about his beautiful rosy cheeks and his lovely narrow eyebrows and his bright sparkling teeth. Who knew? Okay, and then she goes on. Very often there's a change in theme in the middle of the song, and when that happens, there's a sort of extra line of chorus to show that, and then she goes on then to cast aspersions at the various lairds in the area, and it's not pretty. So this one is Station lost me so for money. Okay. Okay, so lots of hodos. Okay. Alrighty, so it's Smolla comes me, and man, Sage look this up on money. Station locks me up and running. Sluck I teach you in my leannan. Sluck I teach you in my leannan. Take it up in funny farrel. Take it up in funny farrel. Shut the wood across the spanner. Very beautiful. Shut the wood across the spanner. Mother hoop, hoop, shelly. Very beautiful. Mother hoop, hoop, shelly. Silver, I'm son of the Natana. ho. Program son the thing around the ho. Yahoo van and bell the scanner. Oh, no, oh, heavy cure ho. Oh, no, oh, heavy cure ho. Brother, I am shit and on the ho. Lucky girl, be some nanan. Oh, no, oh, heavy cure ho. Lucky girl and be some on the ho. Bunger now, the can scarlet. Oh, no, oh, heavy cure ho. Bunger now, the can scarlet. Bunger now, the break of modern. Oh, no, oh, heavy cure ho. Bunger now, the break of modern. Knock me laughing on the college. Oh, no, oh, heavy cure ho. Oh, no, oh, heavy cure ho. Measure it, Mary. 10.5, remember? Usually it's the length of a finger.
Now we want it to shrink what, 10% or something?
When it feels 14 to 15, but Mary just feels it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
We actually have some here that were walked before, and when they really dry out totally, they're just phenomenal.
Oh yeah. They feel good.
You know it's going to turn out 11, right?
8. Oh, no, 9. 10.
Oh, it's a little short.
And a half an hour. That's 2 size worth.
10.25, right?
Yeah.
It's 10.25. So, hey.
All right.
Good. All right, we need to have the next page turned over.
This is woven rather openly, so we'll have to work through
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. That's good. Generally speaking, these are done, you know, with groups of women from a village. And each woman normally has her own song, so each woman sings a song. Well, unfortunately, in this case, one woman sings.
Sorry.
Which is why you have to have this thing. I do not. Well, no, they all know them. But so normally each person, and they know their songs. Well, unfortunately, as I say, no matter how long I've been singing these things, I still have to have that in front of me because, you know, you've got to have it fast. And now this is the one that's about 19 years old, no, 900, I'm sorry. And it's Hey Mandu, a very well-known one. Either you love it or you hate it. I happen to like this one. And I do it for the people. So, Hey Mandu, Hey Mandu, Hey Mandu, Hey Mandu, just, yeah, you know, whatever, it's too bad that somebody will come, a guy with a letter, and he's mounted on a horse with a message for me, asking me to come, and if only it would happen, I would go across the ocean, and if only I had, you know, the wings, the gull, and the squawk-a-lock, is the foot of the duck, you know, so I can swim, and then I would cross the ocean, and then go to where my beloved is, and then, oh.
So there are 2 companies.
So she talks about crossing various straits and oceans, and then she talks about our Donald, who was brought up on the milk of a lovely lady, and not on the water of a stream. And I guess it really worked for him because he was able to knock the castle down with one blow. Let's hear it from you. Okay, so Hey Mandu. Hey Mandu's thrown a chicken, Hey Mandu chicken, Hey Mandu kill sister, here you're a fabulous children, Hey Mandu, here you're a ho. Hey Mandu smash, Hey Mandu full of salad, Hey Mandu salmon, here you're a Scottish dollar, Hey Mandu, here you're a ho. Hey Mandu number gets them, Hey Mandu spear a glasher, Hey Mandu eat a cognac, here you're a sparkle rocker, Hey Mandu, here you're a ho. Hey Mandu knuckle, Hey Mandu in the darshan, Hey Mandu anganilo, here you're a single larker, Hey Mandu, here you're a ho. Hey Mandu rachnesja, Hey Mandu anachesja, Hey Mandu serenama, here you're a small dana, Hey Mandu, here you're a ho. Hey Mandu shemago, Hey Mandu for the doctor, Hey Mandu abamukul, here you're a karamang doctor, Hey, Mandu, Shem, hey, Mandu, hey, Mandu, hey, Donald knocked the castle down. And so here again we have another one where she talks about the beauty of the land surrounding and the fertility of the soil in that she can grow, peas and corn, etc. And she talks about the beautiful song of the cuckoo and the thrush, etc. And she talks about the woman with the cows and the little lambs, etc., etc. And then, of course, she talks about the beloved sailing his boat and how wonderful he is and how well he does that job. Okay? So there we are. So this is okay? I'll try and keep it down to a decent pace without going too fast. I have a very bad habit of going too fast. Okay. So this is Hey Leannan, Ho Leannan. It's Hey my darling, Ho my darling. And my darling is the new fella, so she's going for the new guy in town. And so Colin is his name, and he's a wonderful carpenter. He can work with oak, which is kind of hard. And he can also lay a floor, and he can construct a ceiling, and he can sing in the pub, and he can sing all the songs in the pub. He does them all. He can sing as well. And then she goes on to say that she would give any young girl this piece of advice: she should have at least 3 strings to her bow, because if any of them leave, she always have one left. And then she goes on to talk about what her young man did. He turned his back on her, and basically she says, I couldn't care less because I found him. and so you go. So that's this one. So it's Hey Mullen. This is a very well-known song. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, feel a car, dark and fair and very cool. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fair down, up the phone on Sunday you. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fair and very cool. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, call a bed and work a crook. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, get the yen, you got to lift that go. Legal life, I get fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, call a shimmer, lady, cross a woolen gun, you look. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, at the Westminster Shipwreck Store, on the Holy Garrison. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, Mullen, girls, Mullen, home, and the ship come up for you. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, I may come a sort of truck, I get back a step for you. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen, shame Mullen, fairwood. Hey Mullen, ho, Mullen. An occupational hazard.
9 3/4.
So we're done 3/4.
You can see it getting shorter.
You can feel that we're grabbing, our share of it. Yeah.
All right, let's try again. So pass me sleep and a wee say she knocks me stuff on running. Oh, very beautiful. Say she knocks me stuff on running. Rock like Peachy and Leannan. Oh, very beautiful. Rock like Peachy and Leannan. Make it up and find a bottle. Oh, very beautiful. Take it up and find a bottle. Check the joint across the planet. Oh, very beautiful. Check the joint across the planet. All up to the Charlie. Oh, very beautiful. So gone from the band of camels. Oh, very beautiful. So gone from the band of camels. Get hold on the bill and channel. Oh, very beautiful. Oh, very beautiful. So the high and shit and then a feel. Knock it down and be some lemon. Oh, very beautiful. Knock it down and be some lemon. When you're now the Acar scholar. Oh, very beautiful. And you're not going to play the matter. Knock me up there on the college. Oh, very beautiful. Oh, very beautiful.
I hate to say it, but we need at least one more.
At least.
Before the end.
It's getting shorter, Mary.
It is.
It's really nice. It's really tiny.
Hey, Mandu's brother chicken. Hey, Mandu's chicken, Mary. Hey, Mandu's chicken. Here are the practice children. Hey, Mandu's here are the hey, Mandu's mischala. Hey, Mandu's salad. Hey, Mandu's Beir. Here are the scabitala. Hey, Mandu's here are the hey, Mandu's number yakam. Hey, Mandu's here Russian. Hey, Mandu's chicken young. Here are the sparkle lacquer. Hey, Mandu's here are the hey, Mandu's Benyan, hey, Mandu, Sparklaka, hey, Mandu, Sparklaka, Hero, hey, and Dashan, hey, Mandu, Hero, ho, ho, hey, Mandu, Snaganaka, hey, Mandu, hey, and Dashan, hey, Mandu, Bangunila, Hero, Sangu, Aka, hey, Mandu, Hero, ho, ho, hey, Mandu, Rakamisha, hey, Mandu, Konakasha, hey, Mandu, hey, Nama, Hero, Asmo, hey, Mandu, Hero, ho, ho, hey, Mandu, Shemra, hey, Mandu, Koyundoka, hey, Mandu, Papa, Metron, Hero, Karaman, Batan, hey, Mandu, Hero, ho, ho, hey, Mandu, Papa, Metron, hey, Mandu, Karaman, Batan, hey, Mandu, Papa, Kanya, Hero, Number, hey, Mandu, Hero, ho, ho, hey, Mandu, Shemra, hey, Mandu, hey, Mandu, Gasha, Hero, hey, Mandu, Hero, ho, ho, hey, Mandu, Hero, ho, ho. Did it lengthen or shrink?
My fingers got longer.
2, 3, 4. It's an organic thing. 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's 10. It's actually 9.5.
You can see a wrinkle and bubble. Yeah. You can see that.
It's a little bit different yarns.
So this is my
That shrunk it at least an inch.
You guys sound great.
Yeah, she's been doing the stripe, of course.
Yeah, oh, okay.
But then again, the stripe like
Yeah.
so you come back with an average.
Here I'm looking about 9.5. 9.5.
That's 10.5, so that's an inch.
We're probably ready for the fast one.
Ready to sing the last song, and as I mentioned, generally speaking, the final songs are very light and quick, and they're light-hearted. This particular song is written by a young lady who's basically on the shelf. And I think what we need to do for this is we need to fold it across and then lengthwise along the border. So we basically, we want to have it all sort of on. Basically what we want to do is really pat it down throughout the length and width. So everybody has
down more on the bottom.
We can turn it over and do it on the other side again.
Is that better? Yeah, that's better. We're just trying to.
You see all these little ripples, so basically different yarns. This is the equivalent of what you do when you steam a piece of knitting, right? So, and we're going to sing it to the same one we just did because that's a packing song. Okay, so let's flip it over and do it on the other side, shall we?
Oh, yes.
Oh, how funny. Look at it. It's got all the little lines.
Okay, you want to cut it along the same. We're doing what we call waulking, and it's W-A-U-L-K-I-N-G. It was originally done by women sitting on the ground and using their feet then one smart woman decided that they don't have to do it like that, they can sit on a chair and do that. So they still call it walking, but they use the U in walking to distinguish it from this. And so the whole idea is that we shrink and tighten up the wool and felt it slightly. So
not
humidity
it dries out.
and it gets warmer and then it's more comfortable.
Okay.
Cleans it up.
Do you want it together or you don't care? Yeah, thank you all for helping with this.